Hey, how's it going? Dylan here. Today I'll be sharing my thoughts in this review for Netflix's 1922. 1922 is a movie based on a short novella by Stephen King, and it follows the story of a farmer in 1922 and his son who conspire to murder their wife and mother, and in order to keep their farm. She wants to move away from the farm, and she's inherited farmland from her father. The farmer, main character, played by Thomas Jane, wants to keep the extra land and build a bigger farm on it. He doesn't want to give it to this other family who really wants it. The son is falling in love in that area, and he doesn't want to move to the city, whereas the mother just wants to sell everything, go to the city, and so the plan is hatched, where the father and son decide to take care of the mother. So I sat down to watch this film last night, and I really enjoyed it. It was really good, really well made. It's directed by Zach Hilditch. It stars Thomas Jane, as I said, as the main farmer character, and he does a really good performance here. Has a really good accent, actually, of a southern farmer. And his son also does a really good job of acting, and in general this film is a really good period piece and has some fantastic product design and sets and costumes, as well as the look of the film. It's very kind of vintage. It's presented in a CinemaScope aspect ratio, but don't think it was actually shot with anamorphics. Didn't see anything that told me that there. And the film, from the kind of start of the synopsis, kind of deviates in terms of, when I saw the trailer for this film, I assumed it would actually be possibly like a third-person film, but it's actually mostly from the perspective of the farmer writing a confession note in the present day, when you say present day, 1930, about the events that actually happened. And that made for a really interesting kind of perspective, because it's from the perspective of the actual killer. And it kind of changes it up a bit. I've never read the novella by Stephen King, but as soon as I saw the trailer for this, I was really interested. This film, kind of, you might think it's a pure horror film from the trailer or the information you find, but it's more of a thriller and a slow-burning, kind of creepy film. It doesn't particularly have that many horror scares, and isn't like a pulse-pounding slasher film or anything like that, or a supernatural horror. It's more of more about the actual characters and the way that it affects them in terms of them killing their mother and wife, and how it affects their lives and how it haunts them for the rest of their years, with a slight supernatural element to it. As I said, visually the film is quite striking and really looked quite nice. I don't think Netflix was streaming at 4K for me. Internet in Australia isn't the best, but at 1080 it looked quite nice and very sharp. The cinematography is really nice, really good framing using that CinemaScope aspect ratio, and just a really good film. I thoroughly enjoyed it. A little bit creepy, and I'm probably going to give this film about a 7.5 out of 10. Definitely go watch it if you're a fan of Stephen King or a fan of kind of creepy films. Even horror, it might be your thing, or period pieces in general. Acting's top notch. Cinematography is good, not the best I've ever seen, but muted, and production design fantastic. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the thoughts that I had on 1922 on Netflix. You can go watch it now, because it's on Netflix. It's easy to view, not in cinemas. And as always, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'm open to any suggestions on movies to see, ways to improve my videos, and just leave a comment, send me a message, etc. Alright, I'll see you guys next time, and as always, enjoy.